Yeah, talking again about some more Aliens Fireteam. We just had a new video dropped from IGN, which is about a 10-minute video of Ryan McCaffrey talking about the two classes, the Technician and the Gunner. Just going through the classes and some of the perks and some of the abilities and what we can expect. I encourage anyone to go and check out that video because obviously this is just my thoughts, my opinion. They kind of talk a bit deeper into that, and I kind of just want to glaze over it on this video. Before we do that, I don't really like addressing people in the comments that are kind of negative, but I'd much rather just do it on here than go into the comments section. And I'll talk to anybody in the comments as long as they're kind of civil and have listened to what I've said and have watched the video, and not kind of misinterpreted what I've said and are just twisting things. So somebody was actually kind of mad that I didn't credit IGN in the last video when I actually did. I think I do it in the first kind of 5 minutes, not even that. It's probably in the first 30 seconds. I explain that it's a 25-minute IGN video, and they're talking about the game in great detail. People should go and check it out. So I do credit the video. And since that comment, I actually put the link in the description because that's something I didn't do. But I do direct people to the video in that last video. And they also, I think they were kind of trying to say that this was somehow my gameplay. Which is impossible because the game's not even out yet. So that's a bit stupid. There's also a big IGN watermark in the bottom right corner, implying that it's an IGN video. So this is IGN's video talking about the two classes, Technician and the Gunner. Also, something else that I said in the last video that I kind of want to address is I made the comparisons of what I interpreted this game to be. Now, Alien Fireteam, to me, looks very, it gave me that Predator Hunting Grounds vibe, and it gave me the World War Z vibe, and I explained it in that video perfectly, I think, but I'm going to go into great detail because again there was a couple of people in the comment section that kind of just was, you could definitely tell they were upset that I'd made the comparison. What I was saying was basically I can't believe that I've got to explain this, but it's the internet, I suppose. From when I watched that Aliens Fireteam video, it is a first-person, online, cooperative, multiplayer shooter where you are dropped into a world. You have to do objectives in the world, in the level. And then you have to take on enemy-controlled AI to reach the end goal of that mission. And on Predator Hunting Grounds, you have to do exactly the same thing, except, and I said this in the last video, the only difference is that there's an actual player-controlled predator hunting you down on Predator Hunting Grounds. Aside from that, they are very similar games. I'm not saying they're exactly the same, but I'm saying they are similar. And well, what does similar mean, I hear you ask? Similar means having a resemblance in appearance, character, or quality without being identical. Okay? Obviously, it's not Predator Hunting Grounds. It's Aliens Fireteam. There is no player-controlled enemy queen alien or enemy alien that you can play as. I think it'd be kind of cool if there was, but there isn't that in this game. So I'm not saying it's Predator Hunting Grounds or a cookie-cutter copy, because it's not. But there are very similar aspects of Predator Hunting Grounds and Alien Fireteam. That's all I was making the comparisons there. But obviously, it's the internet. People don't listen to you on the internet. People just take what they want to hear and misinterpret it. And they just come at you. They just come at you. Take what you said wrong. They don't listen to you properly. And that's kind of one of the things that I get annoyed by, like when I'm on Twitter. So what have we got here? We've got the Gunner, Demolisher, Technician and Doc. There's 4 classes there. Today they're looking at the Gunner and the Technician. So the Gunner, from what I gather, is basically your bog standard Colonial Marine. Basically bringing in a pulse rifle and a shotgun. I don't know if you can change weapons and have mix and match the weapons. I'm hoping you can. I think where the differences will be in the perks. So see, the Gunner there can even put a turret down. The abilities is obviously something to do with the grenade. I imagine that would be something to do with fire rate. Again, I'm just speculating here. Gunner perks, no idea what that is, and some sort of targeting thing. That's the abilities for the Gunner. I imagine the Demolisher, or the Demolisher, the Demolisher, that's right. The Demolisher will have different abilities set to that class. The Technician will have different abilities set to that class. The Doc abilities will be set to that class. I think you'll be able to change and swap weapons out regardless what class you are. So I think you'll be able to have the pulse rifle and everything, shotgun and everything. It'll just be the abilities that are unique to that class. I'm guessing. Speculating here, people. Speculating. Also like to thank 2 subscribers that I got in the last video. And it was doing well on likes as well, so I appreciate that. Anybody who's liked it and had positive things to say, where we can all get along and play nice with each other. So we'll carry on with the video. So there seems to be a lot of enemy types. Again, we spoke about that on the last video. Over 20 enemy types. That'll be including the androids as well. So your gunner is basically your bog standard marine. You can actually, I think Ryan McCaffrey actually asks the developer, can you take in, for instance, 4 of the same class, or does everyone have to pick a different class? And they said you can take in 4 of the same class. You can have 4 gunners go in. You can have four medics go in, or docs if you want to call them. You can have 4 demolishers, or you can have 4 technicians. They said obviously, but we'd like you to mix and match because everyone brings something different to the party. So it sounds good. It sounds like this really kind of tight horde-based shooter set in the Alien universe. And I'm excited for it. I enjoyed World War Z. I enjoyed Predator Hunting Grounds. As we can see, there's the Praetorian. I like the levels. I like the authenticity. I like the sound. It kind of just strikes me. I kind of know what this game's going to be about. I don't know how hardcore Alien fans are going to feel about it. I think anyone who's played games like Predator Hunting Grounds and World War Z and that kind of cooperative. I mean, I even make references to Friday the 13th in the last video, and that's as far away from this game as anything can be. But nobody pulled me up on the Friday the 13th reference. It's strange. But yeah, I mean, the aliens do look easy to take out. So these are the perks. Just pause this here. So we've got core and modifiers. In fact, I'll just leave it playing. Rapid deployment, target acquired. So these are kind of like you've got turret perks. Yeah, turret perks. Overclocks. There's grenade perks. Remote detonators, incendiary blast. So your grenades you can have fire grenades. You can have a remote grenade. It just it's very customizable. Kind of looks pretty cool. Improve the cooldown of grenades. So you got a cooldown clock there. It's a bit of a weird setup how to put perks in, but I'm sure we'll get used to it. So a lot of customizable perks there. Places normal grenades with incendiary grenades. I think you can also get you can change your turret out on the Technician. You can have a flamethrower turret. You can have a turret that does like a slower rate of fire to take out bigger alien enemies. So it sounds like it's going to be kind of this. The ideal scenario is that everyone plays as some a different class, so everyone can kind of like But it also sounds like you're going to be able to play as you can play as four gunners and still come out of the level survived. But yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of excited. I'm not expecting this game to come out and kind of like set the world on fire. Predator Hunting Grounds didn't do that. World War Z didn't do that. Friday the 13th didn't do that. And I think this isn't. I just think this is going to be the same. I think it's just going to be a nice game that comes out in the summertime that you can play with your friends online, set in the Alien universe. And I think that's it. And I think anyone expecting more than that is probably setting themselves up for a bit of a disappointment. They've clearly gone for the action side, the kind of Aliens film kind of vibe, where the first Alien film was a horror film, the second Alien film was more action. So we've got some guns there. You got your standard rifle. That's it there. pulse rifle, so that's the one from the movies. You can actually put a red dot on there, I noticed as well. You got the shotgun, so you can switch out your weapons as well, which is good. So like I said, I imagine it doesn't matter what class you're going to be, I imagine you're going to be able to take any weapon you want. It's just your consumables and your abilities. Or maybe, I think you might probably be able to swap out your consumables as well, who knows. Your Technician is more of a kind of putting down turrets. As you can see, the abilities are different there. So there's a turret, there's some sort of shot grenade. He's going to be controlling kind of like the choke points, where the aliens are going to be coming from. Everyone gets turrets though, which is good. So he can pick up, like you can see there, he can pick his turret up, he can put his turret down, he can move it if it doesn't get destroyed. I think I'm going to be playing this game on hard, because I think in the last video the developers said that if you play it on hard, if you kill an enemy in close quarters, then the splashback on the acid becomes a problem, and if you walk through acid puddles when you've killed a downed enemy, because I think the enemy bodies just stay there. But I think it's good. I think it looks good. Literally the only criticism I've got is I would love to see more enemies on screen, like in World War Z, where it's just this wave of like 30 odd zombies running towards you and you're just mowing them down. I think that's what this should be. But we'll have to wait and see. You know, there might be more. Who knows? You know, higher difficulty might have more enemies. I don't know. There's obviously going to be another video after this, somewhere down the line, where they're talking about the Demolisher and the dock. But yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of your online cooperative shooters, like, I mean, obviously, you know, it's got that Left 4 Dead template as well. You know, World War Z and you know, World War Z's kind of got that Left 4 Dead mentality as well. We've got Back 4 Blood coming out as well. Obviously, I think that's going to be the better kind of for Left 4 Dead people. I think this is just going to be. I'm looking forward to it. And my opinion changed when I first saw it. I was like, oh god, you know, this, you know, it doesn't look very good, blah blah. Then I really started to kind of sit. I think I watched the 25-minute gameplay video a few times, and that's where I kind of got the similarities. The word I'll use now, similarities between other games that I've played online recently. But yeah, I think it looks good. You got a turret there. Change your turret on an incinerator turret. You got heavy turrets, incinerator turrets. What else can we see there? Long tail projectivity. Don't know what that is. Agile projectiles. So there seems to be a lot of, and that slider bar goes right down. Changes your turret to an incinerator turret, spawning flames in the area in front of it. Also increases turret durability. You got the Praetorians there, which I actually thought was the Queen, but the Queen is probably going to be maybe just a bit bigger than the Praetorian. You got flamethrower turrets there that kind of look cool. There's obviously objectives to do in the world. I imagine there'll be a multiplayer side of it as well, where it'll just be horde mode. I can't see it just being a campaign based game without some sort of multiplayer kind of modes. But I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm just speculating. You know, this is all new to me just as much as it is to you. But it looks good. It looks interesting. I think there was another video on IGN saying that there's like 8 new xenomorphs, and I watched another YouTuber called Mr. H Reviews, who's like a big alien. He goes into like alien lore and talks about alien kind of like comics and stuff. And he was disproving it and saying that a lot of these enemies are actually in other alien games. You know, we've had kind of spitters in Colonial Marines apparently. I've not played Colonial Marines because I heard it was absolute. You know, I didn't think it. You know, heard it was a good. You know, everyone says it's terrible. But my alien knowledge goes about as far as the films. I don't read the comics. I don't you know, I've watched the Prometheus and the Covenant films, and I had to have Prometheus explained to me. And I watched it again after it was explained to me, and I was like, right, okay, cool, because it was all about the virus, and that was the bit that was kind of lost on me. But it looks good. I think it looks good. I'm quite excited to play it. Summertime game, not far to wait. Obviously they'll be covering it more. Hopefully we'll get a beta, who knows. So that's it, that's IGN's video there. I'm going to leave the link in the description before I get executed again. But yeah, Aliens Fireteam. 2 classes there. Again, if you like the video, leave a like. If you didn't leave the video, leave a dislike, who cares? Yeah, and also, you know, happy to talk in the comments with people if as long as they've like watched the video and understood what I've said. If people are just going to jump to conclusions and, you know, misquote me, I'm not interested, and I won't even bother. But yeah, a subscription would be great, but you don't have to. You don't have to. But yeah, it would be lovely. But never mind. We'll see you again on the next video.